Hey everybody, welcome back to the Simple Life of Natalie Joe. I'm Natalie. Today I'm going to be talking about garage sales. I know it's February when I'm filming this, but before you know it, garage sale season is going to be here. People love garage sales. I don't know how popular they are now, but I remember growing up, garage sales were amazing. But I found these papers, if you can see it, garage sale kit. Then over here it says tips and checklist for a fun and profitable sale. I didn't know what the last part said. So I thought I'd go through this with you, give you my thoughts on it, tell you what I think, stuff like that. Now at the top it says, I'm just gonna start here and work my way down. It is double-sided. It says, before your sale, prepare to start early. Collectors and antique dealers like to show up early in the morning. Now, I don't know how likely this is. If it's just a typical garage sale, I feel like collectors and antique dealers aren't going to be showing up to you. Unless you advertise that you have antiques or you have big furniture purchases. Unless you advertise stuff like that, they may not show up. So I wouldn't really worry about that. But I would encourage you to get everything set up and make sure you're ready to go when it's supposed to start. The next one, it says obtain a permit to host a yard sale if required by your town. I live in Ohio. I've lived in Ohio my whole life. I don't know if any Ohio town or Ohio in general requires a permit for a garage sale. At least I don't remember my mom ever needing one, stuff like that. So just be on the way that you may need one. You may not. Spruce up. If your sale is in the garage, clean it out and sweep. If it's outside, mow the lawn. That's not a bad tip. Make sure that, especially if you do have the sale in your garage, make sure you clearly post what's not for sale, because people are probably going to try to buy something that's not for sale. So maybe just remove the items that you really, really don't want to sell, put them in the house so they don't even know it's there. But yeah, that might not be a bad idea. Clean it up, make sure it's nice and looking nice. And it says gather lots of shopping bags, boxes, and newspapers for wrapping fragile items. Most people underestimate how much they will need. Not a bad idea. That's not bad. Yeah, so just make sure you're prepared with everything you need. And then the last one in that category is develop an alternative plan in case of bad weather. I don't know how to. If it rains, it rains. You may be rained out. I don't know. And the other one is, I'm guessing this what it means. If you're planning on having it in your yard versus your garage, you may need to move it to your garage. Or find some sort of canopy or stuff to put over your stuff. The next category is gathering items. Items can be hidden everywhere. Check all areas of your house or yard for things you don't use, like in the garage, sheds, yard, attic, car, basement, closets, kitchen, and kids' room. Yeah, just make sure you're really honest with your stuff. If it's something that you really don't use, and you could probably sell at a garage sale. But also look at, now, like I said, I'm not really reading ahead too much. I kind of scanned over it. So we might get to this later. But also check for condition. If it's really well worn and used, someone may not buy it. Or they may buy it for parts. So just be aware of, be really honest with yourself to see if it's something that you may pick up at a garage sale if you needed it or something like that. The next one is collect quote-unquote merchandise. in one area and sort it by type. Clothes, tools, etc. I guess that's not a bad idea. Make sure you have, especially when you go put it out on tables or however you're going to organize it for the sale, make sure you have like things together. Make one sign like all clothes, this price, something like that, whatever you think. But that's not a bad idea. The next one is test any electrical items to make sure they work properly. Also not a bad idea. That goes back to my point I made earlier about, if it's really worth selling and stuff like that. If it's not well used and not working properly, you may not be able to sell it, or maybe no one would want it. And then the last one in this category is, as you gather items, take time to clean or repair items. Rugs, run glassware and dishes through the dishwasher. Wipe down plastic items with cleaner. Clean TV and computer screens. Wash all clothes so they smell fresh. Items that look clean will sell for a higher price. I'm not sure if they would technically sell for a higher price, but it's also a good idea to make sure they're clean and ready, clean and nice and looks nice. So, and not dirty. But yeah. The next category is what sells best. And it looks like it's just categories of things that may sell better than other things. Household items, curtains, rugs, bedspreads, etc. The next one is jewelry, costume, or the real thing. I don't know if I would sell real jewelry. I mean, technically, I don't really have anything real. Well, I take that back. I got some rings, some like ring rings, finger rings, from each of my grandmas after they passed away. They may be real, but I'm not going to really sell those at a garage sale. So, I mean, I would, with the real jewelry, I would take it to a jeweler, see what it's worth, see what they could do me versus selling it at a garage sale. The next thing is tools. Guys love it all. Any kind, any condition. Could be true. I'm not really sure what they're looking for. The next one is baby items of all kind, especially clothing. I could see that to be true. I've seen a lot of There's this one woman in my neighborhood that has garage sales all the time. I think she's a couponer, but that's a different point. But she has like a ton of stuff, tons of stuff, and a lot of it is kids and babies' clothes. I don't know how well she does with the clothing, because I don't ever really buy that stuff from her, because I don't really have any kids or babies. But she has tons of it, and I feel like her sales always go pretty well. The next one is clothing. Kids and adults. Clean out your closets. I could possibly see that working out well, like any kind of clothes. But yeah. But for me, since I am a bigger person that I'm trying to work on, they may not have my size, so I don't typically look for clothes. Kitchen appliances. I could see that happening, but you also have to make sure that they have a way to haul it away, I guess. And then the last one is bric-a-brac of all kinds. If it collects dust, people buy it. Yeah, I guess so. It depends on what they're looking for, I guess. And then the next item is section is what should you not sell? Items with missing safety parts. I could see that being true. If it's missing items or parts or something are damaged, yeah. Unused prescription or drugs or medicine or any medicines. Yeah, I'd probably skip that too. The only thing I might do is if it's like over-the-counter medicine and it's still in date for a while, I might consider selling it, but I don't know. Personal hygiene items. That I might try to sell, depending on what it is. If it's a bottle of lotion or something, yeah, I'd probably try to sell it. Yeah, I might try to sell that. The next one is halogen floor lamps. I'm not really sure what that means, but if you do, leave it in the comments. I mean, I could... Floor lamps, maybe I might not sell. If it's a desk lamp, I probably would. Hair dryers without ground fault detectors. Okay, that might be a safety hazard. And then the next one is old baby cribs or playpens, incomplete child safety seats, children's clothing with drawstrings, and accordion style safety gates. All pose safety risks. Okay. Like I said, I think I made this before. This point before. If it's missing, if it's broken or something like that, or poses a safety risk, yeah, I'd probably just toss it. And then the last one is the Consumer Protection Agency offers a complete list of dangerous items to avoid selling at yard sales. And then it says, for more information, visit www.cpsc.gov. Okay, that could be maybe a worthwhile website to visit, just to make sure that, the other thing that worthwhile to check in if you have something that you're not sure about. The other thing that I might be, or might do is look at recalls. Some things may have recalls and you may not realize it. So I would just maybe check to see if, I'm not even sure how to look for recalls, honestly. You may be able to Google, put into Google, whatever the item is. Let's say, I know, okay, this is, kind of they already talked about it, but it's something that I know that can be recalled, possibly. Like a child seat, like a car seat, child car seat. You could put in whatever type of car seat it is, and then recall. And then they could possibly, come up with stuff like that. But yeah. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Recalls, stuff that maybe pose a safety hazard, broken items, when in doubt, here's my, I guess, the best tip for some of this stuff. When in doubt, throw it out. And then the next category is multifamily sales. Now, I have heard that this is a good strategy to, without even really look at it. Really look into what it says, is because even if it's one item, you can still do, because they won't know. Even if like a friend or family member gives you an item to try to sell, you can still market it as a multifamily garage sale or sale, because you are because it's still technically true, and people do tend to gravitate more towards those sales that are marketed that way, only for the fact that they think, at least I would think, that there'd be more variety of items versus one household, if that makes sense. Well, let's get into their checklist here. Prior to the sale, agree upon the reasonable responsibility of each family. Advertising, setup, signs and setup, etc. Not a bad idea. Make sure that everyone knows if they say, what can I do to help? You could be like, if you advertise here, here, and here, that would be wonderful. Or, do whatever. If you do XYZ, this would be great. Make sure everyone knows the plan, I guess. The next one is, together, decide where the sale will be held. one house, multiple houses. I remember growing up, the street we lived on, we were having a garage sale, and I think one of our other neighbors was also, a couple of our other neighbors was having a garage sales the same weekend. And I think my mom did it. My mom actually advertised it as multifamily garage sale. With those other people, they made a plan to do it together. But then one of the other neighbors was kind of doing it on her own, and she did it. I think she had hers. Let's call her neighbor A. She had hers like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I think my mom had advertised hers was. No, I think my mom did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then the other neighbor A was like, "Hey, since you're already doing it, I put in the paper or I advertised mine for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do you care if I start setting up now and have people come to mine?" And my mom was like, knowing that she had advertised it a day later than my mom's advertisement. My mom was like, "Well, can I leave my stuff out Sunday too? To make it fair." And I think my neighbor A was like, "Yes, that's fine." But you know what I mean? It was one of those, you kind of have to be flexible as well. Be like, "Hey, I know that mine technically doesn't start until tomorrow, but do you care if I set up today?" And my mom I felt like that was a very reasonable request. Be like, "Hey, I know that you said you advertised it until Sunday. Can I basically do the same to you, but tack on an extra day to mine?" Since she did tacked on to an extra day at the beginning. So just make sure that, if it's something like that you both advertised and didn't realize you were doing it the same day or same weekend, be flexible. Be like, "Hey, I know that we didn't really plan this or anything or talk about it, but XYZ, make sure that you just know what's going on." And if someone, it's okay to say no, but it's like also okay to be like, "Hey, listen, I know that you did this. Can I do, since I'm letting you, if I let you, set up the day, but a day early for yours, can I say a day late?" That's what you do. The next one is create a price coding system. Use color-coded labels for each family or write initials on the price sticker. Okay, I kind of know what they're talking about. Ooh, because I was thinking about having a garage sale years ago, and then I changed jobs. So I think in this kit that I got, came with these stickers. You see how they're color-coded? Yellow, green, orange, red, or pinkish. So this is what they're talking about. Family A has this, family B has this, it might not work for everyone, but, just agree on, what's what, I guess. Or, decide on, initials are also good, but yeah, coding system is great, or just make sure you kind of know what's what or who's is who's. But yeah. The next one is create one pay table to avoid confusing customers. Yeah, if you're having it at one central location, like one house, that's fine. Don't make it confusing for everyone. Oh, since you bought, or if, especially if they have one item from like your stuff, one item from neighbor A's stuff, and then like 2 items from neighbor C's stuff. Just make it easy. Just make it, one pay and then figure it out later. But if you're having like everyone's house, like your house is one spot and then your neighbor has their stuff set up at their house, that's fine too. That might not be that confusing. And then it says, use the enclosed sale of record form to track items sold for each family. Okay, this is what they're talking about. You can see that. Or you could just use notebook paper. It doesn't really matter. That's what my mom did. Use paper. The next section is advertising. Tell every friend, family, coworker about your sale. Word travels fast. Not a bad idea. I don't know how well it does now, but, tell people. The next one is place a classified ad to attract more people. Remember to check the publication's deadline. Okay. In your ad, give lots of details, including address, days, and times of your sale. List major items such as a table saw or lots of kids' clothes. Not a bad idea. I mean, you want to make sure that this can also work for what you don't have. I mean, if you have, you could also be like, I think I've seen it also, some places also, sales be like, mostly housewares, no kids items. That's also a good way, also good as well, because if you have parents looking for specifically and only kids stuff, that you don't want them to bother coming to your sale if you don't have anything they want. But yeah, just be really specific. Sometimes also it's good to list what you don't have, like no clothes, no kids clothes, no kids items, no household items, or stuff like that. Give directions for major roads or landmarks. Not a bad idea as well. The other thing I would say is, nowadays, with technology is what it is, I feel like online is a great place to advertise. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. I know that my city has like a garage sale website, like Dayton, garage sales, yard sales group. That's a great place to advertise too. But yeah, so just think outside the box. Make sure you have everything ready to go. Signs. Some towns regulate the size, quantity, or location of yard sale signs. Check your local ordinance. Also, just be aware, possibly. List your address and sale dates on all signs. Yeah, so if you accidentally forget one, that you're not have someone coming on a Wednesday and you don't have it that day. Post your signs at major intersections, street corners, and at the end of your driveway. Yep. Put a few signs up several days before the sale to raise awareness. Yeah, not a bad idea. Be consistent. Use all the same colors and writing on your signs so people recognize them at a glance. Okay, not a bad idea. Keep a list of where you posted your signs. It will be helpful to take them down when you take them down. Yeah, not a bad idea. Okay, and then the next page. Pay table / money. Have at least $50 to $60 in bills and change. A roll of nickels, a roll of dimes, a roll of quarters, 20 in ones, 20 in singles. 20, yeah, well, okay, let me rephrase. Singles and ones are the same thing. 20 in singles and 20 in fives is usually adequate. Now, what I would do, this is just me. I doubt that you really need the dimes. the roll of dimes, and the roll of nickels. And if you really do, you could probably have enough to get you through the day at your house. So what I would more focus on is at least one roll of dimes or quarters. Get at least one roll of quarters. And then I would focus more on smaller bills. Singles, fives, maybe a few tens. But yeah, that's what I would do. And, but yeah, so I would scratch the nickels and dimes and get at least one roll of quarters. And then at least 20 in singles, fives, and a few tens. Keep a pen and paper and a calculator handy. That's easy enough. People have calculators on their phone. But yeah, paper and pen's always a great thing to have so you can write things down. Post a pay here sign on your table. Well, I feel like people kind of know where to go. But whatever, you can do that if you want. Consider posting a sorry, no restroom sign if you don't want people entering your home. Fair. I don't know if I'd do that, but it's one of those. I don't know if I'd really ask to go to the bathroom at a garage sale unless I really had to go. Always keep someone at the pay table to accept payments and guard the change box. Good advice. As money collects, bring large amounts in the house for safekeeping. Yeah, good idea. Setup. Organize. Use boxes, tables, blankets, and organize your items by category. People buy no more when it's more organized. Yep, like things together. Hang the clothes. Use a pole or a rope between trees or from the rafters in the garage. Sort by type, size, or season so people can find them easy. However you want to organize it is fine. Do what you want. Label items that are difficult to identify. People love gadgets but can't always recognize them. Okay. Place big items near the road or out on the outskirts of your sale. It attracts more people. Yeah, that could be true. Especially if it's in really great condition. The next one is consider creating a free table for people love free items and often feel obligated to buy something. Okay. I mean, if so, I don't know if I'd do that, but you can. Or a free box. I might do that, but I might use more of a box, put free items in there. If it's like some small little kid's toy or little trinket that I don't really care about. Pricing is the next category. Price all items before the day of your sale. Okay. That's more of being organized and stuff. If you suspect items may be antiques or collectibles, research online or call an antique dealer. I feel like I said this before. I feel like the typical garage sale is not going to have a lot of collectibles, big furniture, big antiques. Those are more at estate sales. I mean, if you think it might be, I would just maybe sell it with an antique dealer or something like that. The next one is don't price like it's a retail store. The original cost of an item has little bearing on its resale price. Remember, the goal is to clean out your house. Yes, that is the goal. Just of a garage sale typically. Clean out your house. Get rid of things that you don't use that might have some value. This is just some pricings that I might consider. Shirts, maybe 50 cents. Like a t-shirt, maybe 50 cents. Pants, shorts, also maybe 50 cents. A formal dress, maybe at least $20, $30. Books, if it's a paperback, maybe 25 cents. If it's a hardcover book, 50 cents. This is just me personally. If I'm having a garage sale, I'm gonna price it to sell to get it out of the house. So I don't have to deal with it or whatever. So that's just me. Little kitchen gadgets, depending on cups. Okay, let's start like a drinking glass, a drinking cup, maybe 50 cents, maybe a quarter. But also don't be like, oh, if you buy kitchen gadgets, you could price it maybe like all kitchen gadgets 50 cents or 5 for $1, something like that. I guess the next one is for large items, you use overpriced tags or a paper to write on, detailing as works great or only use once. Also, not a bad idea. Sale day. Set up early. No matter what time you post your sign, people will show up early. Be prepared. Early birds can be good customers if you set up on time. Yeah. Spread out your merchandise so that it's easy to see. Yeah. Set up your pay table. Be sure to have these items: a calculator, pen, paper, money, trash bin, paper, pay sign here, sign, all sale final, sale record form. Okay. Be pleasant and say hello to everyone. If you see someone with an armful, offer to hold it at the pay table so they can continue shopping. Now, the lady that I told you about earlier, that has a garage sale with tons of kids' clothes, she actually, I don't know where she got them from, but she actually has those little baskets that you see in stores, like the shopping baskets. I guess I don't know where she got them, but that's, if you find them, good for you. If a large item is purchased, label it immediately as sold. Good practice. Here's another good one. Have a power cord available to try electronics. That's not a bad idea. Handling hagglers. I feel like, I get it. People want to get things cheap and stuff like that. You always can say no. But yeah, you can do whatever. Haggling is commonplace at yard sales. Yep, people do it all the time. People try to negotiate everything from $20 to 20 cents. Yep, just know that someone's going to ask, hey, can you take XYZ for this? Just know the minimum price you will accept for each item. Okay, so yeah, just be realistic. Even if you think that you're selling something, let's say that you have like a big giant armchair for like $50. You may expect someone to be like, hey, will you take $20 or $25? But yeah, just be aware that, so just have like the lowest offer or the lowest amount you would take for something is basically what they're saying, which I think they did. Consider the time of day. You may consider being more negotiable near the end of your sale. Yeah, that's true. If it's a big, giant, bulky item that you don't want to lug back in or deal with, I would just say take whatever they ask. I know that it's not really the same, but it's similar. I had a desk riser that I had gotten that I ended up not really wanting or not really using. I listed it on Facebook Market. I knew it was going to be probably a hard sell. And I knew it retailed for over $20, or not $200 online from the merchant. But I just wanted it out of the house. So what I did was I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I said, new in box. I never opened the box. And then I said, $100 or best offer. And it sat on Facebook Marketplace for a week, and then this lady was like, hey, can you take $75 for it? And I said yes, because I just wanted it. If she was willing to come pick it up, I was just, I would have taken almost anything. But yeah. So don't be afraid to take less than what you originally listed it for. Oh, and then the next one is just counter offer. They may have a high price that they may sell or buy it for. If you have it listed for, like, let's say again $50, and they say, hey, can you do it for $20? But you could say, I could do it for $35 or something like that. They may take it for $35 or $30. But yeah. And then the next one is, if you can't agree on the price, take their name and number, and you can call them at the end of the sale if it doesn't sell. It's also not a bad idea. You'd be like, hey, I really want to, this is the first day of the sale. I think it really might sell for $50. But I can take your name and number if you want, and if it doesn't sell, I can call you, and then we can renegotiate. But yeah, so just make sure that you have a plan for people who haggle, I guess. And then it just says, after your sale, remove all signs you posted. It'll be easy if you made a list. Review all offers you collected on unsold items. Because obviously if it's the end of your sale. And then I guess it just says, have a plan for the unsold items. Are you going to keep it for a future garage sale? Are you just done with it and just want to donate the rest of it? Or you could also make a listing. Be like, hey, you can take everything for $10 or $20. But yeah, so you just want to make sure that you have a plan for the rest of the stuff. But the next sheet is collect all offers. So it just has, a place for items, the offer, their name and phone number. Yeah, so it doesn't have, but you could also just write this information in your notebook. And then down here at the bottom, it says sign locations. Just make sure that you, like they said, make sure you have the signs. And then the back was, obviously I showed you before, was tracker, inventory tracker, whatever you want to call it, how much every person gets. So, but yeah, so you just want to make sure that you're organized. And another thing that I do want to mention is location. Location. I feel like I'm kind of tucked in my neighborhood. I'm not really, I feel like I'm not really at a good spot for garage sale because I'm tucked in there, and I feel like sometimes probably not that hard to find, but I feel like people aren't gonna, if they don't find me within the first 30 seconds of them entering a neighborhood, they're probably gonna give up pretty fast. And I'm kind of tucked in there, but who knows? I could be just making it up. But yeah, so just keep things in mind, like, you know, oh, also another thing that I just thought of, another tip, you know, a drink, you could sell drinks, like cans of pop or water bottles or, you know, stuff like that, if you wanted. If not, I don't know if I'd worry about it too much. But yeah, just make sure that you have a plan for everything. Yeah, so there's some garage sale tips. And if you go to garage sales, I would say, you know, don't be afraid to haggle, but also be prepared if they say no. That's that, you know. Don't keep being mean and pestering them if they say no. That's the worst that they could do. But yeah. So yeah, just make sure that you you know what's going on, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great time garage sailing this garage sale season. If you have a garage sale, I hope you do well at it and do make a bunch of money. Oh, also another thing that I just thought of is, if you have it, let's say like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what I would think you could do, and might be something I would do, is if you find more stuff, don't be afraid to bring it out. If you find more clothes or more items that you want to get rid of, just bring it out. I'm sure someone might be able to find or want it. But yeah, so keep everything up to date. You know, keep good records of who, even if you have like multiple family members putting in stuff, just make sure that you know how much they owe. Oh, also another thing that I just thought of. There's another lady that I've gone to her garage sales before, and she did mention to people, I don't remember which one it was, but she had like PayPal or Venmo or something. She mentioned it to people that, you know, if they had interest in like a big item, that she would accept like Venmo or PayPal or whatever she had. If you do have one of those apps or one of those accounts, don't be afraid to be like, hey, I can take PayPal or Venmo. So people know, because people might be able to, might be willing to spend a little bit more to make it worth it. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Happy garage sailing this season. And I hope you have a good day.